I know this is a bit weird being a WWE in the background, but today we are ranking, well, not ranking, giving a grade for the NFL draft. So, number one overall pick being Fernando Mendoza. He did not drop at all. They needed a quarterback, and they took the best quarterback in the whole entire draft by a massive margin. And the Jets taking David Bailey from Texas Tech, their edge rusher. It was a very good pick. Getting a nice edge rusher, needing it. Not taking a very needed receiver, but that's fine. Arizona taking Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame at 3, just outright taking that. And then Titans, after not getting a running back, they just say, yeah, why not? Tate. Let's get the receiver. Carnell Tate from Ohio State, which you can't go wrong with the Ohio State receivers. I mean, JSN. But yeah, and then the Chiefs trade up to pick number 6, taking Mansour Delane, cornerback from LSU, which is a nice cornerback. They do very good things with cornerbacks, and I very much dislike the Chiefs, and it's very depressing for me. I don't like it. I hate it, honestly. It's rough. I love, and I mean love the pick. I just hate the team that picked them. My LSU Tiger going to the Chiefs, which sucks, but they'll be fine. And that, of course, leaves one crucial player on the defensive side, being Sonny Styles, taking number 7 in the Washington Commanders. Very good pick. I would have done the same thing, honestly. And the second receiver, I mean, Jordan Tyson going to uh, the New Orleans Saints with number 9, Spencer Finneau, offensive tackle, which was a really good pick. I was really hoping Baltimore could get uh, that offensive tackle if they wanted him. If we wanted an offensive tackle, being that would have been nice to have, but we needed an offensive guard, and we got the first guard on the draft, so I'll take it. But we'll get back to that in a second. And then John Harbaugh finally decides to take a lineman for once. Pretty good one too. Was ranked 5 overall in rankings, and he finally gets taken with the Cincinnati pick from the Giants. The Dolphins had picked no, the Cowboys had picked 11, and they got Caleb Downs from Ohio State. Can't go wrong with Ohio State. And then with pick 12, an offensive tackle to the Dolphins. At pick 13, a huge surprise, but a really, really good pick. Little high, yes, but I'm happy they got their guy. And oh my God, is he going to develop crazy? Ty Simpson to the Rams, getting a good quarterback for an expensive price. But you know what? A good quarterback gonna stay behind Matthew Stafford, learn from Stafford, and learn how to play uh, in the big game in the big leagues. In the big leagues. There we go. I finally figured out the word there. Uh, Joining the big leagues and gonna learn how to play, learn how to do all the things a good quarterback needs to know, and has plenty of time to develop with Matthew Stafford at helm. But if he goes down, Ty Simpson, we could see a great quarterback duo threat there with Ty Simpson. And then Penn State offensive guard to my uh, I'm blanking on everything. Baltimore Ravens, which I thought it was a nice pick. It's like we need a guard, and Jesse Minter did not disappoint, getting the best available guard and the first guard taken out of the draft in the first round. Anyway, we desperately needed that, and I'm super happy he was able to fall to us, and we didn't have to trade up for anything. So that was really good, and I'm very happy to see it. And then the Bucks took the Miami edge rusher, Brian something Jr., something Brian Jr., which I don't know much about, but pick 16. The Jets desperately need a weapon to go with Garrett Wilson, and they got him. They took not Shaq, Sadiq from Oregon, the tight end. That looks really good and has a great game IQ and awareness. Very good. That's what they needed. And then the Lions doing the smart thing and taking an offensive tackle, Blake Miller from Clemson, and then pick 18, Caleb Banks to the Vikings. Caleb uh, Banks was from Florida and is a defensive tackle. And then pick 19. It was depressing. It was a little depressing. I wanted to see him go to the Eagles. Or not really, now that I think about it. Probably not. I mean, they don't really need an offensive tackle. It would have been cool, though. But yeah, the Panthers got a great offensive tackle to protect their franchise QB, probably, in Bryce Young, which was a very good decision, in my opinion. And then, yeah, pick 20, the Eagles took Malachi Lemon, which was a phenomenal pick. Kai Lemon was a great pick. They needed him desperately since they're getting rid of uh, AJ Brown. So now they have one really good receiver right now, one good receiver getting traded, and now a first round rookie at receiver too. So he doesn't have to do all the work, but he needs to do some work and really progress. And the Steelers take offensive tackle? What the hell were they doing? I mean, they took Max, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name, from Arizona State. I guess. Whatever. Okay. And a pretty nice edge rusher. I just can't speak. If you're new to the channel, I can't speak correctly. But yeah, at pick 22, edge rusher to the Chargers. And yeah, from Miami, it's Aheem Mizador. Again, horrible with these last names, spelling wise and just everything wise, honestly. And then another edge rusher right after that. Dallas, they need an edge rusher. He's from UCF, which I thought that was the green team, the Greenhorns, but I guess not. They took Lawrence, his last name, Lawrence, edge rusher from UCF. I'm using ESPN, the draft, ESPN draft, or whatever you want to call it. And next at 24, the Browns desperately needing a receiver for Shedeur Sanders. There's already been great receivers being taken in. So, uh, out of all the receivers they have left overall, they take KC something. They take KC. That's his first and middle name, I think. from Texas A&M for Shedeur Sanders. And that should honestly help. And Dylan Thennerman at pick 25 from Oregon. He's a safety, and he went to a really good team in the Chicago Bears, which was a really good idea. And why is the camera looking at the ring? Not looking at the ring, I mean. And at pick 26, the Texans took Kellen Ratledge, Ranger, something like that. I don't know. Probably something simple that I don't know, that I'm trying to overcomplicate. From Georgia Tech, he's an offensive guard. And the Texans desperately needed that, and they got it. It was they traded for the pick. I think they traded up or something. And then the Dolphins trading up to get Chris Johnson from San Diego State. He's a cornerback. And then at pick 28, which was kind of surprising, but not really at the same time, the Patriots taking offensive tackle Caleb Loom from Utah. And then defensive tackle. Wow, oh, that's good. That's a really good pick, and that's kind of scary, honestly. Pete Wood, a really good defensive tackle from Clemson, and going to be learning from Chris Jones, one of the better defensive tackles, probably like top 5 at least in the league right now. Really good defensive tackle, and that's rough. And the Jets stealing the receiver from the Raiders. And a really good pickup, honestly. Amar Cooper Jr. from the Indiana Hoosiers to go with Garrett Wilson on that offense, which is just really making that unit scary with now 2 nice receivers and a tight end that is really good. And they have some young pieces on their O line too that look pretty decent. So that could be a scary unit, honestly. Now they just need to get a quarterback that could do great things and just that can do some decent things with a really good receiver and tight end from it. Even if they don't do good things, they get a good pick and they get to take a good quarterback, which very good, very nice. And now with pick 31, uh, Keldrick Folk to the Titans edge rusher from Auburn. Really nice pick. It's really interesting and honestly, it's a nice pick. It's a nice pick. And with the last overall pick in the first round, the Seattle Seahawks does not trade it away. They keep it and they draft Janal. No, I don't know what I'm talking about over here. I'm mentally insane. Janarin Price from Notre Dame. He's a running back. He was projected to go in the second round, about middle, uh, third round. So he was projected to be the 50th overall pick, which, if he were to get picked with the 50th overall pick, would be to the Lions, which actually would have been really nice for Detroit because they do need a quarterback. I mean, a running back. They could also use a quarterback probably like next year, given that it's a stacked quarterback draft and they could take a smaller guy to back up him. And yeah, that's the whole first round, which I thought was solid picks, honestly. Really, really good picks. I thought it was a pretty damn good draft for a lot of these people, including Fernando Mendoza going to the Raiders with Kirk Cousins starting off, and he's one of the better quarterbacks to teach Fernando Mendoza how to play the sport of football and just how to do a lot of good things in the NFL, I think was a really good idea and really just perfect. Great pick on a really upcoming team. And this is where I come up. So, next segment is going to be taking place with me voicing it over and ranking everyone, everyone's pick from A to F. See you then. Well, see you in a second. All right, this is future me now. Fernando Mendoza with number one overall pick. I'm gonna grade that, but it was a good pick. They need a quarterback. They have a running back. They need receivers. They need some O line and receivers. That's pretty much it. They needed a good quarterback, and I think Fernando is the person to be that quarterback that they need. It's going to be an A+ for me. It's got to be an A+. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's an A+. They needed a quarterback. The first overall pick. You know what? It was a little bit of a reach. He's not the best player. Fernando Mendoza, I mean, rated second, but there is some pretty big uh, downsides to taking Fernando Mendoza with his pro day and all that in mind. But he's a quarterback. He's what they need. He's gonna have Kirk Cousins, one of the best, like top 50 probably, at least an elite quarterback at one point in time to learn from, aka Kirk Cousins. But yeah, not a bad pick at all for Fernando Mendoza. He's a Las Vegas Raider, and for that reason, some of the things I just listed, I'll give it a B+. B+ or no, A-. A- fully for Fernando Mendoza. Jets. The New York Jets take David Bailey, edge rusher from Texas Tech. I'm gonna give that. Honestly, I love the pick. It's one of the better picks, honestly. And yeah, I think it was a really good idea to draft him. I feel like he can do great things on the Jets one day when the Jets, you know, become a competent franchise and actually have a good team. But keeping that in mind on how he's going to perform probably next year, A-. I like the pick. I like the position. Very crucial position. Very good pick. Take number two, getting a really good position for a pretty nice price. And the Cardinals, and knowing that they're uh, not at all going to need a running back as of right now. So, I mean, definitely worth it. And yeah, let's get it done with the first two picks real quick. And that's all I'm going to really elaborate. And A- is my final thing. Jeremiah Love to the Cardinals. Not much to say about it. He's a great pick, great running back, just good player overall. And there's a really good track record with taking running backs in the first round, especially this high up. And on the Cardinals with a pretty nice O line, I gotta give it to him. It's a good pick. It was the right pick too. I mean, you could have taken a receiver, but you have to trust that your other receivers can do so. Because if they don't, then sure, on a different problem. So just take a receiver later in the draft, whether it's in the second round or somewhere deeper. But Jeremiah Love, huge pickup, a great pickup. And yeah, Jeremiah Love is an A, close to A+, if not A+. Honestly, what I think he's going to do on Notre Dame, on the Jets, I think he's going to do a lot of good things. And I think, honestly, my full-fledged opinion is he's going to do amazing things. Jeremiah Love is going to be one of the best running backs in the league. in a couple years. He's going to be in the talks with Gibbs. He's going to be in the talks with Bijan Robinson as well. With all those top tier running backs, I feel like he could be one of those in a couple years. That's why I'm giving him an A plus. Best draft, best pickup so far, but Reese is still available. Going into the fourth pick, Reese is still available. No, not taken with the fourth pick, because Carnell Tate, the Ohio State receiver, goes to Tennessee, which they needed that for Cam Ward. They needed a really good receiver. And with the fourth overall pick, you got to take that good receiver. He's going to do great things. Not going to do amazing things, though. On the Titans, you still need time. So, my overall with how he's going to do this season is a B plus, but in how I believe and how he should do, he should be good. So I feel like as going into the draft, that is at least a B plus. But for me, I'm gonna give it an A minus. And Reese getting taken with the fifth overall pick to the New York Football Giants, linebacker, really needed it from Ohio State. Great track record for Ohio State, producing so much good talent. It's insane. But I don't really need to say anything else about this, I feel. I just don't need to. I'm just gonna say it, A plus. And then the sixth overall pick, Sor Delane, cornerback from LSU, goes to the Kansas City Chiefs, which A plus. Great school, great player, great pick, bad team. And Sonny Styles, it's very simple. These picks are very simple. Sonny Styles going to the Commanders, really good pickup. A, super close to A plus though. Really nice player, really nice pick. Yeah, but final rating for Sonny Styles, gotta give him an A. Just A pick, but I'd bump it down to an A minus with how it's going to perform in the Commanders. Not that great of a defense. So, yeah. Now on to Jordan Tyson, good receiver on a team that is desperate for a receiver. Good pick, gotta give it an A. Tyson's a good receiver. He's a good pick. There's not much more to say about it. And then Spencer Fano from Utah, offensive tackle, going to the Browns. They needed to address a receiver, but instead they got an offensive tackle for Shedeur Sanders. Very good pickup. Definitely needed, and it was good. It was good. They needed it. They got it, and they have it. But yeah, that's a really good pick. I gotta give it probably A plus, honestly, or A, just because his next pick is an A plus. Pick 10 for the New York Giants from Miami, ranked fifth, projected going top five, but he didn't go top five. He fell to 10. The offensive tackle from Miami going to New York Giants. That is an A plus. Great player, good up and coming team. Exactly what they needed. They got their good O lineman, and that's pretty much it. Giants are going to be a contender this year. There's not much else to say about it. Caleb Downs to the Cowboys. They got their guy. They wanted him. Going into a mediocre defense, though. So keeping that in mind, B plus. And then the offensive tackle from Alabama going to the Dolphins. Honestly, I think I got to give it. I just don't know much about him. He's from Alabama, so probably going to be decent. And with that going in mind, I'll just give it a B because I have no idea. I don't watch too much college football, but he's good. He's decent at least. He's one of the type of better players, honestly. And now Ty Simpson at pick 3 go from Alabama, going 13th overall to the Rams. What a surprise pick and a really good pick. Gotta give it a B though. Not a B plus, a B because it is a bit of a reach, but I like how they got their guy. And it's gonna have Matthew Stafford to coach him and all that, and just to build a great QB. And now the Ravens getting offensive guard from Penn State, really good pick, and the first offensive guard being taken in this year's draft. And they needed it. Ravens are looking great, especially with adding this guard. I am a Ravens fan. I'm giving it an A plus. But seriously, my actual rating would be an A. And then edge rusher Brian Jr. from Miami to the Bucks. Don't know much about him, so I'll give B plus. Sadiq, pick 16. Sadiq from Oregon going to New York. I'll give that he's a very good tight end. Going to the Jets. He's going to have a rookie tight end. Quarterback, so yeah. I think production-wise, he's going to put up for a rookie, he's going to give B plus, and for a talent, he's going to give A. So with that in mind, A minus. Blake Miller from Clemson. I have no idea about Clemson. I have hardly heard about really anything Clemson-wise, so with that in mind, I'm going to give it I don't know, I'm honestly giving it a B. Honestly, a B minus. It's a decent pick, but I think the Lions reached, but I feel like he's going to do good things. And Caleb Banks, defensive tackle to the Vikings defense. Exactly what they needed. They don't need much else. And honestly, with where they were picking, got to give it an A. Pick 19, Marone Freeling, offensive tackle from Georgia. Good pick, good team, gonna put up great work. A plus. Surprised he even fell this far. Pick 20, Lemon to the Eagles, and oh my god, I can't believe he fell that far. Now that is an A plus. You know what? No, we're expanding it. It's not to A to F, it's S to F. And this pick is the best pick in the whole entire draft. S. It's S plus. S plus, that's it. It's the best pick in the whole entire draft, hands down. And then offensive tackle, Max, whatever the hell, from Arizona State. It's a C. C plus. No idea who that guy is. Huge reach. It was a mid pick. And way too much done for it to be that pick. And then 2 edge rushers, one to the Chargers and one to the Cowboys. Honestly, both of them are actually. Oh no, the one that went to the Chargers is actually pretty good. I'll give it an A, and then for the Cowboys, I'll give it a B. And now the Browns taking their receiver. I gotta give it an A minus. And then Dylan Sampson from Oregon or something. He's a good safety. He's another S tier type of player. Very good. Very nice. And now the Houston Texans take the offensive guard from Georgia Tech, which was, they needed it. They got it. I like the pick. It's just not a good pick for the first round. I'll give it a B plus just because they needed offensive guard desperately and they did what they needed to do, which will honestly, you know what? I'll make it an A minus just because they did exactly what they needed to do when they got an offensive guard. Now, Chris Johnson from San Diego State, I have no idea, but they needed a cornerback. He was a good pick. I'll give it a B minus. Next up is Caleb Lemon from Utah, offensive tackle to the New England Patriots. Well, I don't know much about him. I do not know much about him, but honestly, I'm just gonna play it safe, and I'm just gonna call it, uh, honestly, exactly what they needed to do, and just give it a B, because it's not exactly the craziest pick. It's a safe pick, but they did exactly what they needed to do. So honestly, I'm trading from a B to an A minus. They need an offensive tackle, especially after their other rookie not doing great. And pick 29, the defensive tackle from Clemson. I don't know much about this pick, but honestly, he's gonna turn out amazing. A plus, A plus pick, really good pick. Great idea too. And Amar Cooper Jr. He did great in the final, winning Indiana Hoosiers. They won the final, went in the championship. Very good for them. And it was a very good pick for the Jets. Surprised he fell that far. Surprised that Raiders didn't try to move up or anything, but they didn't. So the Jets got a Mark Cooper receiver. Surprised they were able to get him. And honestly, I gotta say that's an A plus. And now, pick 31. I don't know anything about Auburn, honestly, but I think with how he was ranked and just everything going for the Titans, gotta give it a B plus. Can't give it an A, but it's gotta be a B plus. And then Jermaine Price, which it was a reach. Gotta give it a B minus. Honestly, with how much disdain I have for the Seahawks and getting rid of a great running back, they could have just played it safe. They could have got someone different, and they could have kept their good running back. I'm sick and tired of it. They're throwing a rookie out. You know what? I'm done. I'm giving it a C minus. I just went from a B minus to a C minus. Yes, just because honestly I forgot they did that, trying to suppress it, but now I'm just pissed off remembering, and it's just stupid. I don't even care for the Seahawks that much, and honestly, for the Niners fans and Rams fans, horrible pick. They reached, and I hope he does good, but the Seahawks are stupid for doing that, and I just want everyone to know that. So yeah, that was it, and past me. Take it over for the outro. I don't get how I won, but you know what? I won. And I guess I'm going to WrestleMania. Don't forget to like, subscribe, notification bell, all that. I'll see you all in the next one. Till next time, be safe. Peace.